Government kidnapped 3 Nigerian soldiers, over 30 civilians in Enugu State. What is our leader doing in Enugu State? What is our southeastern leaders doing? Because every day by day we are hearing this issue of insecurities in the southeast, but they have not come out to address it. I want you guys to watch a video from Okocha Marcel, but I want to tackle something now. If these things keep on happening, how would they expect that some foreigners or some investors will come and invest in Southeast? How do they think that people can come and invest in Southeast, whereas Southeast is totally insecure? Every day by day we are hearing major kidnapping, buying, or Fulani. Even now, Fulani herdsmen now take over land or farmers' land in the Southeast. In Enugu, I posted it on my video, where Fulani herdsmen came up and then they turned farmers into their slaves. If you don't obey them, they'll buy you. And then we have governors in Southeast. We have people we call leaders. We have security agencies in the Southeast. What is going on? What is really going on in Nigeria? What are we missing out? What is our leader not telling us? Because this level of insecurities is the main reason why we are in this mess in Nigeria. Because farmers cannot go to their farm and farm because they are scared of being pied by foreign herdsmen. Whereas we have governors, we have leaders, we have security agencies. What are they doing? Because now bandits are taking over Nigeria. It's not hidden. Bandits are taking over this country called Nigeria, and we need to arise and do something about that. Before I continue, take a look at how Okocha analyzed this issue, and I will see you guys shortly.
If not because the way the system of Nigerian politicians have reduced everyone to, who are Fulani herdsmen according to what they call it? Who are they to kidnap 3 Nigerian soldiers and 30 people on the spot? Who are they to do that? 3 soldiers and 30 people in a spot in Enugu State. Alright, it happens yesterday that 3 soldiers were kidnapped with 30 persons. The military have sent signal releasing the name and the batch number of people who were kidnapped. And not only that, the 30 persons who were kidnapped, they saw some of the unlife bodies in the bush. This is not supposed to be going on. This is going on because of 2 things. Number 1, Nigeria is not structured to succeed. Nigeria is structured to fail. And that is why all these things will not stop. Number 2, the politicians in the southeast are also ignorant of what is going on. And a news like this, they don't want you to see it. When I mean they are ignorant of what is going on, like there was a kidnapping that happened in Anambra State the other day. I said the people who carried out the kidnapping is from Anambra there. They are Igbo people. That was because I was able to find out who and who is responsible for this. But 90% of the incidents going on are not from the indigenous people. And this is the reason why everybody have to calm down first and think about what is going on. Just imagine, 30 persons were kidnapped with 3 soldiers, 33. How come? If not the way they have reduced Nigerian military to, the whole training they have gone, everything, they are just being kidnapped like that. Everything that makes people to hate Nigerian army, both the terrorists they infuse into them. I'm talking about repentant Boko Haram. They are terrorists because 90% of repentant Boko Haram they put into army. Nigerian army told us that they ran away after they gave them gun. They cut away gun. They go away with Hindus. So if not because of politicians, Nigerian army, if they are independent, right from time, they will not allow Boko Haram into them. So everything boils down to the politicians who wants Nigeria to have maybe one religion, who wants Nigeria just to be the way they want it to be. Now, have you ever seen any Igbo politicians or senator, House of Rep, anybody who comes out to condemn 3 soldiers and 30 people kidnapped in Enugu? They don't want you to hear it. They don't want you to hear it. Are you telling me that they are not aware? How many newspapers reported it? Only 1 in Nigeria. Only Sahara reporters reported it. Army sent the signal. So all the whole newspaper in Nigeria are supposed to have a signal of the army. Army signal means that when incident happen, army will release a signal that this is what happened. You have to add, they will name everything that happened. They release even the phone number of the soldiers that were kidnapped. They release their phone numbers. So nobody's talking about it. Because they don't want you to hear. But if it is ordinary kidnapping or they kill 2 people, it will be easy for them to say IPOB people. Or Biafra agitators. It will be easy for them to lay it on them. But this one, they were unable to lay it on Biafra agitators because these are 3 soldiers and 30 civilians. So how come? Where did they keep them? And the eyewitness reported that these people were guns and machetes, these people are so. And army has come to confirm that these were Fulani terrorists. So maybe that is why they are hiding it, they don't want you to hear. Anyway, let's go into the details to understand what is going on. It says, breaking, gunmen kidnapped 3 Nigerian soldiers, over 30 civilians in Enugu State. Now, the 30 civilians have not been profiled. Over 30 civilians, according to the report, has not been profiled. In other words, they don't know who and who they kidnapped. It's only the 3 soldiers, they were able to figure out their names, their Nigerian army number, and so on and so forth. Now, this is what happened. It reads that there is apprehension in Enugu. Ezike in Igbo is a North local government area of Enugu State, following the abduction of over 35 passengers by suspected herdsmen. The incident occurred on Thursday, January 9, 2025, along Enugu and Soka Road. Full stop. But how, if people from outside the country listen to me, most of the time, they ask me, what do you mean by herdsmen? Does herdsmen kidnap? That is the way Nigeria have corruptedly made these things to look. That when Fulani terrorists will do something, they will say herdsmen. Who are the herdsmen? These are Bororo Fulani terrorists. I'm sorry for my Fulani friends who are good people. These Bororo Fulanis are totally different from them. They are different from them in the sense that these people were imported in the year 2014, 2015, when we were about to remove Goodluck Jonathan. These people were imported by General Muhammadu Buhari. Fact check everything I am saying about this. Up to today, did the nation do anything? Just imagine if the US could hear that Donald J. Trump imported people from maybe Syria or Iran to help him win an election in US, to help him fight. If Trump is not put in prison that very moment, there will be a civil war. But Nigeria, we are all dumb. And we think we know something when we know nothing. We know absolutely nothing. The blind tribe. We are all blind. We are scared to talk. We're only pursuing our money, pursuing our political office, without sitting down to think what is actually wrong with us. Now, the article continues that 3 buses were attacked. Follow the trend. 3 buses were attacked, and initially 4 Nigerian army personnel were taken, but 1 PTE, Osendo Emediong, managed to escape. Now, there were 4 military officers, soldiers who were kidnapped, but 1 of them escaped. Now, this is the army batch number of the one that escaped. 24NA, that is 24 Nigerian Army /87/7560. That is the number of the person that escaped, okay? And his name is Osendo Emediong, okay? Follow me. However, Osoro Ezekiel Paul, the number is 24NA /87/6751. Jeremiah Enimbon Thomas, 24NA 877937, and Victor Etiat Godwin, 24NA 878348, were taken away with other passengers. So these are the people that were taken away, their names and their army badge number. Then the one who escaped, I told you his name right now, and his badge number, his name is Usendo Emediong. Now, the article continues that according to an eyewitness, that is people who were there when this thing was happening, the kidnappers numbering 17 marched all the passengers into the bush after operating for an hour. After operating for 1 hour in Enugu. Nobody came, no police intervention, no military intervention, nothing. Kidnapped 4 soldiers, 1 escaped, and more than 30 civilians. They packed them into the bush. And someone will come out to tell me that they don't know people who are doing all those things in the southeast. They are pointing finger to the wrong people. When are we going to wake up? This was the reason why all those vigilante group, now they kind of formed them, like ESN, was set up to be in the bush to fight all this. But when he was adopted, they hijacked the system. And I can confirm to you that they hijacked the system. Criminals started operating in the name of the system. Like if this thing that happened now, if we did not get the proper report, they will still put it on them. It's so unfortunate. Now, the article continues to read that not far from where I am nodding in my hometown, in Enugu, Ezekiel is a 17-year member, ragtag Fulani herdsmen, kidnap gang operated for about 60 minutes on a busy road that lays to the eastern part of the northern part of the country. Eastern part to the northern part of the country, okay? The road is bad, he said. Now, they were able to figure out that this is the head of Fulani herdsmen, terrorists. This is the name of the head who is kidnapping along that road, who is attacking in that road. He says that a 17-member ragtag Fulani herdsmen kidnap gang operated for about 60 minutes. Alright, let me continue with the article. Say they were successfully attacked 3 18-seater buses and kidnapped at least 35 people from these buses forcefully. In the course of moving the victims into the bush, one of them managed to escape. It was when he came out that he narrated how they were kidnapped, and we got to know he is a soldier. One time a soldier is always a soldier. So the soldier was able to escape, and when he came out and narrated his experience, people now realized what happened. Now, he said he and 3 other soldiers were going from Akwa Ibom to Kaduna State in one of the commercial vehicles. And this is what he said. Listen. Yesterday, local hunters, about 3 of them from my villages on their usual routine, encountered the kidnappers in the bush, but had to hide. They heard one of victims complaining that he couldn't continue walking as he was tired. But guess what? He was shot dead. Hours after, both the local hunters and the military operatives entered the bush and saw the dead body, which was later taken to the morgue. This Sunday morning, a helicopter, that is today, has been hovering around this town, causing apprehension among villagers, though without any rigid action to rescue the victims. I believe the Fulani herders and the victims are not still in the bush. Meanwhile, a military signal obtained by our news correspondents confirmed the adoption of the soldiers. The signal said personnel of 87 regular recruits intake 87RRI were adopted along the Enugu road. So below is the military signal of what really transpired. It was sent, through text message. Okay, so if you understand military signals, you will understand what the content of it. Kidnapping at about hour 10:15 January 25. Info received from, they put the names of the people who were adopted by 3 soldiers of 87 RRCM. They put everything that you should know, but their numbers were hidden here because of some confidential matter. It's not good to expose people's number in the public, so you can see their names and everything here. It's unfortunate anyway.
And then we have security agency in the southeast. Then we have more of checkpoints in the southeast. Then we have governors in the southeast, and all these things are happening. And nobody's asking questions. Nobody is talking about what is happening in Nigeria right now, southeast especially. Because there's no way you tell me that southeast that was secured before is now insecure because of the new government that came into office. Because now farmers no longer go to their farmland to farm. And then we're talking about food scarcity in Nigeria. Why won't we have food scarcity in Nigeria where farmers can no longer farm? And it's very shameful that Nigeria imports food. With all the land we have in Nigeria, we are still importing food. With all the land we have in Nigeria, we are still importing little things that we can produce ourselves. But because we don't have that, we don't have that idea, or we don't have that platform to produce those things, we are importing cotton board, we're importing toothpick, we're importing nails, we're importing little things, we're importing tanks, we're importing little things that we have the raw materials for. How did we get into this mess of bad government? Because we have all it takes. We don't have disaster in Nigeria, we have rainfall in Nigeria, we have sun in Nigeria, we have good lands in Nigeria, we have manures in Nigeria. Tell me what is hindering us from being productive if not bad government? Tell me one thing that is preventing Nigerians from being a country flowing with milk and honey if not bad government. Where each government, each leader, each politician is trying to carry the whole Nigeria's money for himself. Where one man is trying to steal the whole public funds all for himself. And then tomorrow we are seeing people championing for Nigeria as an achievement. To me, it's a shameful thing that we Nigerians will see outside country as an achievement. It's a total shame that Nigerians see travel outside the country as an achievement. Because of a failed country. And it's also shameful that our government are sending their children abroad to study. What happened to using those money to bring it in and make Nigeria good in education sector, good in agricultural sector, good in every sector? No, they will not. They will be busy financing others' economy, whereas we are lavishing in poverty. I will see you guys as everybody video watched in the comment section. I will see you guys in my next video. Stay tuned, guys.